Everybody, Michael here from Guardians of the United Kingdom, formerly known as the Christ of England. I'm just doing this quick video to let everybody know that I have changed the name of this movement for multiple reasons, really. First reason is I'm not an official Christian, though I do love the teachings of Christ, and I believe Christ represents the Spirit. But it's been causing too much confusion on YouTube, on Twitter. I keep getting comments such as, yeah, we need a Christian movement, and I have to explain, well, I'm not really a Christian. And even atheists saying like, wow, look at the church. The church has let the country down. Christians, you're useless. And I'm like, again, I have to explain I'm not a Christian. So that's the main reason I did it. And also, if I register this as a charity, I looked up the rules and I very much doubt I'll be able to use the name Christ in the charity because obviously the affiliations as with Christianity and religion. So I'm not sure that would even work. But also, I wanted to make the name more inclusive for everybody because I want this to involve everybody can join. Christians, atheists, whoever, as long as you're English or even an English British citizen who wants to help Britain be better and join the spiritual movement, this is what it's all about. And the name Guardians of the United Kingdom is because we will be the guardians of the UK. And I was looking at all the ancient traditional societies because we need to return to tradition. And tradition doesn't mean like Christian traditions and all this stuff. It means tradition represents the spirit. So in ancient traditional societies, the highest form of societies, it wasn't based around materialism as we are now. It was based around spirituality and honor, decency, respect. And society was run by the wise spiritual masters, the sages, and the warriors. So the wise people would run society and the warriors would fight for it. And that's what the Guardians of the United Kingdom will involve. It will involve, I think, maybe 5 or 6 sages and 5 or 6 warriors, such as myself would be a sage, and I'd get other wise people who are spiritually experts to be fellow sages on a council, and then I would get 5 warriors. So people such as Tim Davis would be a good warrior. I don't know, Ant Middleton, Tommy Robinson, Tyson Fury, anybody who's a great warrior, who has military experience, fighting experience, or gym disciplinary experience, they're going to be the warriors to lead us in this movement. And then from there, everybody who joins as a member, they will be guided. So we'll get as many young people as we can, or anybody, and then you check with the code of honor. So everybody would have to obey the code of honor. And then from there, the members could get guidance from the sages and the warriors. And we would run everything and sort out as much as we can in this country. And obviously with time, people could be promoted up into the sages once people leave, or the warriors, sages or warriors, once they leave or die or whatever, they can be replaced and people can work their way up. And there's so much we can do with this. We can have summer camps where, as I say, our youth especially need as much help as possible. And they could be trained by the sages and the warriors. So they can be disciplined into being tough, strong men. And they could also be taught to fast and spiritual work to resonate and build their spirit. So we can build their spirit and build their physical so that they can be ready for the tough battle that we face. And once we get our membership up and get as many people involved as we can start making real world change. Such as, for example, I don't see why if we couldn't get the council, such as the 5 sages, the 5 warriors, and a lot of members down to the border to sort out the border problem. Why not? I don't see why that can't be done. Because if we get super wise people and super warriors, then we can solve a lot of the problems. We can sort out a lot of the crime. I mean, 2 of my biggest concerns with our country at the moment, I think most people agree, is the open borders and the crime. The crime is out of control. Our streets aren't safe. Our young women aren't safe. Our young men aren't safe. The crime, the shoplifting, it's an absolute joke in our country. That's why we need our warrior division. So let's stop relying on the police force. The police force are weak and pathetic, but we will train the warriors and the young warriors to go through hardcore military training that they have to pass, or a form of training that they're going to have to pass. So they'll be 10 times the men that our police officers are. And then if we can get them built up, and then we'll have, in many ways, our own military or army force of fit, strong men to go out and fight against this evil. Now, just imagine if every football fan in this country and every football player dedicated their time and effort into getting fit, strong, and healthy to help us with our problem. We could have millions of young men ready to go. You know, a lot of people concerned, look at all these people coming over the borders, you know, and we've got an invading army. Okay, and that's true because they probably have more numbers than our army. Our army is 40,000, and there's probably more invaders coming over the border, young men, for battle. But we got millions of men in this country. If we have millions of men guided by the sages and the warriors, then at least we will have confidence in our own defense, because we can't rely on our politicians. We can't rely on our establishment. They're clowns. We need to get a movement going to sort it out ourselves. Okay, so that's just a brief idea. And I just wanted to quickly do this video. I'm not going into too much more detail, just to let you know that Christ of England will no longer be appearing as the name. This is now Guardians of the United Kingdom. And more details will come out in the future once I get it going. Okay. Hope everybody as well. God bless everybody today. Share this with as many people as you can who want to help the UK get better. This is our best hope. Forget about the politicians. They're clowns. I can't be bothered wasting any more time on that. We need to focus on this movement, and we will make the UK better with the power of the spirit and the power of our warriors. God bless everybody. Goodbye.